Hi, welcome back, or welcome if you're new to the channel. Right, this is part 5 and this is going to be the last part for this build of the Tamiya F-35B. If you haven't seen all the other builds, please check out the playlist with all the other stuff in it. This will conclude everything that needs fit into this model. The first thing I'm going to start doing is start adding some of the many covers. When I say many, pretty much all this little lot here. There might be some more actually, I'm not sure yet. But basically these are all this colour, all white, and then white on the inside. So yeah, it's just a bit of a chore going through them all really, basically. Adding internal detail as well, because there's things to go on the inside of some of these covers. And then fitting them on there. So the first part I'm going to do, it's quite an easy start to it really. I'm going to put all those back in there, we'll in a minute. This is the top cover that goes on here. This is white. That sits just there like so. It fits perfectly, just like the rest of the kit does. And then you've got an inner piece, which is this door that covers up this unit here. It's got an inner door which is white, and it's got two brackets that hold it up, must move it up and down. And then depending on which model aircraft, which country or nationality you use, it usually has a little decal on the inside, just in this cover here. It's quite nice. And what I'm using is this one, so that's basically a nice little start there. So it's white on the inside completely, and then it's just this outside colour which I've already painted when I masked off the rest of the model. So I'm just going to get that painted white, and this piece here. And then this bit fits in there like that. Just sits there quite nicely. Don't have to fit it, I could just have it, I don't have to glue it in as such, I could just have it sitting like that, but we'll see how it goes. I'll be back when I've got that bit done. Okay, that's that part completed now. There's not much to it really, but quite a nice piece of detail, especially with the decal there and everything. I can fit it now I suppose, but I'll just zoom back out again. It just fits on there, but I'm not going to fit it at the moment because it's just going to get in the way while I'm building the rest of the model. But yeah, that's one more little bit done. Move on to the next. As you may notice, we're going to start collecting parts. So these are all the bits that you're going to fit right at the end of the build, basically. So I've got an engine and a top intake at the moment, so we'll keep adding to that list. Okay, it's quite scary how much work is still left to do on this model actually. Right, these are the pylons, typical pylon, you two halves, glue them together, etc. Now these are the ones that hold the bombs. There's two bombs on each wing. And these are the pylons that hold some, I think the sidewinders on the side of the wingtips. There's a rail that goes on there, and then there's the missile itself that fits on there. So I'll do that in a bit. These are the mounting points that go onto the pylon, and they're handed. There's one that says right on it and one that says left on it. But when you glue them together, you get like a typical seam line down the middle like this, which I suppose when the ordnance is on there, it will cover some of it, but it will still show a little bit because it's stepped away from it, and I don't like that seam line. So you could deal with it in a few ways. You could fill it and then just sand it up, or what I've chosen to do, this is the finished one. I'm basically using 180 grit sandpaper, like so. When you get one that's not been done already, keep it on a flat surface, put even pressure on it all across it, and just do that. Don't go too mad. And you'll see when it's gone. And you end up with a pretty smooth surface. I'll just do the other one. Don't use too soft a sandpaper because it tends to just run over the top and not remove any plastic. Just need a little bit more at the front there. So there we go. And then when you've done that, switch to, this is 1200 grit, which is a much finer. And that's not removing plastic, it's just kind of polishing it back up again really. And then let's do that one as well. And then we can do is get a Tamiya sanding sponge and just tick around the edges like that. It doesn't need much. I've done those already. So there we go. So we've got 4 pylons with, there still will be a little bit of a sign of a seam line, but as I say, once it's painted, I'll prime it quite a lot actually, and you won't see them. But that's the quickest way of dealing with those lines, I think. So I'll get those prepped up and painted up and everything, and they can go on the model. Right, okay, that's the pylons painted up. They are different colours. The outer ones for the sidewinders are basically the same colour as the aircraft, and then the inner ones that carry the bombs are like a ghost grey colour. Anyway, so they're painted up so they can go on the model now. When you're building this thing, you need to decide early on in the instructions what you're going to fit to the model, and you've got to drill the holes beforehand. I decided early on that I was going to do this, and they are handed, so if you notice, I'll try and get closer again, I can put that just there. If you look, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's got an R on there basically, and then the other one's got an L, so you can't get them on the wrong place, and they won't fit the wrong way around, apart from the ones for the missiles. They will fit the wrong way around because they've only got 2 pins on. So this is the left hand side, looking at it from this side, this is the left part of the wing. So that one, I've got an L on it of course, and that goes there. And it's so the missile is pointed outwards. And then you've got the other L's, which are, again, you can't really get these wrong because they'll only fit in one place. So the stance on some of them is smaller, so as one goes there, there's the other one going. Oh, that's a small one, or is it the bigger one? You get the idea. And there we go, there we go. And that one goes there. So I shall now attach those, and that's a bit more done. That's the pylons fitted. I'll paint the bombs up and the rockets up a bit later, I think, and I'll fit those at the end. Oh, not just yet anyway, because I don't want too much sticking out so it'll get knocked off. So yeah, I'm quite happy with those. Make sure you get these missiles lined up right. They look a bit weird from different angles. They do point downwards because this wing's got a hell of a lot of, it's called wash out, sorry. The wing will just curve down a hell of a lot. Anyway, so that's that bit done. On to the next part. Okay, I've got some more of these. I'm going to fit these now. And they go on this unit here. Now then, when I've fitted this, I've been respraying this quite a lot. I've been throwing semi-gloss varnish around and all sorts of stuff. I haven't bothered masking it. But you don't really need to worry about that too much, because you tend to find paint doesn't stick to this stuff very well without a primer on it. So just scratch it off. It's not a big deal. It takes a little bit of time. But I'm just going to go around this bit first and then get all the paint off that doesn't need to be there. And then we'll move on to fitting those again. Okay, these are the individual pieces. And it's just a case of doing your best to get them in the right place. They do move about. A little bit fiddly. That's, I would say, a lot of fiddly. If you don't mind, I'm going to do it off camera because I have to get quite close in to see what I'm doing, which I can't do on camera because my head gets in the way. Okay, I've got that one in place, and what I'm doing is just, I know there's tweezers, but I'm just pushing them well into that edge. Pretty good, I'm quite happy with that one. That's 2 fitted. I'll do all the other ones now. Right, okay, that's those fitted. quite effective actually. I quite like those. Nice little bit of detail. They do actually look like that in real life when you see them close up. So at least look something like that. So that's that bit done. I'm going to start on the undercarriage. It shows on the instructions when you fitted this undercarriage, it shows on one of the earlier videos I made, there's a little plastic tab there that holds this leg in place at the moment, and it's trapped behind that piece of plastic there. You have to cut that off there, which I'll try with these snippers, like so. And that gives you the opportunity, right through it, to then hinge that down. And if you look, there's like a this little rod here interfaces with a piece inside the leg. It's just there. It's got a little slot in it there. That hinges down, and you just do that. Then you glue that in place, and your leg's there. So that's all good. So I shall get that glued in place now. And what I have done is fitted this cross piece here that connects to the fuselage, the leg, sorry, and then the fuselage side there. So it's just, I've just left it in place. It's just tacks there. I've actually side-noded it to give it a bit more strength as well, just to make sure it doesn't move while it sets. Well, pretty much from now on this model's going to have to be on the stand. So I would fit, even if you're going to put the model on the ground, I'd use a stand because it's very useful for just keeping it off the ground while you're fitting delicate parts. So you end up with a bobblehead model. Okay, built up the undercarriage legs according to these instructions. Quite a lot of little bits stuck on them, but when they're built up there's not much to them really. The leg itself is like a titanium colour, and then you got bits of white stuff on it. I ended up painting this leg with brush paint because it was just easiest than mask it. Then I lacquered it, and then I've foiled the actual earlier leg, the actual strut, just to give it a bit of sparkle. To fit them, I haven't glued that one in. I've just pushed it in because it's a very tight fit. So basically, I've got the stand in the way at the moment, but I can't really I can take it off, but I don't want to put this down with the wheels on. So basically it fits, let me get this right way around, in those two holes just there, and with a very healthy push they ain't coming out at all. But I will take the stand off. So obviously it wouldn't be on its wheels in this position because this is its fully extended position as if it's off the ground, so there's no weight on them whatsoever, but it will sit on the wheels even though it's way too high. But yeah, we've got some undercarriage now basically. So there's more bits to add to those undercarriages though. There's a strut coming from here into there, and a strut from obviously on that one. Then we've got the doors to put on. I've painted the doors for the front ones, but I haven't done that side yet. There's a decal to go on the actual strut itself as well, but yeah, it's coming on now. I can actually put it down as well, which without the stand if necessary. But it's not the strongest of undercarriages. I wouldn't recommend you wiggle it around too much. So yeah, a bit more progress. Undercarriage is on. I'm just working through all the access doors for everything. But point of note, when you build this model, you'll find it quite, well, I'm finding it quite, it's not frustrating, tedious I think is a good word, because this side of the airframe, the bit that's exposed when it's closed, is obviously the colour of the aircraft. The inside is generally white, but any exposed area, like this is the front undercarriage door, this side's white, so you've got to mask that edge. So it's not a simple job of just spraying that side that colour and that side that colour, because you've got to then pick out, because on the inside it's grey. So it's quite a job just to paint that one piece. And this one's the same. This is the other door, and that's white on the, it's got a grey stripe down the inside of that door and on the edges as well. So it's not a 2-minute job painting these panels. They've got to be done individually quite carefully. These are the doors on the back where the engine nozzle comes down, and this is a multitude of colours inside there. Obviously it's the same colour on the outside, so it's not a quick job doing these panels, and they're all the same. They've all got like a white line round them, and it's very tedious doing the white line, if you like. So I'm just working my way through them. Those doors are front are done now. I can put those on the model, and I'll varnish them when they're on, I think, as well. Okay, that's the front gear doors fitted. I've got to say, they're remarkable. They really are. They're a pain in the bum to paint, but once they're on, I haven't glued those on. They're not glued on. See how well they fit? You just kind of snap them into place, and they don't kind of sit at each side of the fuselage half like a normal gear door does. It opens up and then folds to the side of it, so it's like hangs over the sides. Kind of difficult to explain it, but yeah, they sit higher than the door itself, so they must kind of hinge back and round. Yeah, and you just snap them into place, and I've not glued anything on there. They're amazing. I would like to take them off again. We could, but I don't need to. I've just touched it up a little bit of the white paint actually, and when that's done I'm going to varnish in there some semi-gloss. I might add a little bit of panel liner and stuff, but yeah, I'm really impressed with that undercarriage at the front. It's amazing, it really is. Pain in the bum, but yeah, it's worth it in the end. I can actually stand it on its legs now again, but I don't like doing it. But yeah, it's too fragile. Well, it's alright, but the legs are all, it looks like a stalk. It's hanging down like a way too long of the legs. Right, on to the next part. Okay, 2 more doors just made up. Pain in the bum to make. That's got a mixed colour on that side, and it's got another cut, it's an LP12 on that side, but 2 decals, one on each side. Obviously it's depicting some sort of grill mechanism that goes right through the device or whatever it is, and they fit on here, just on that bit there. So I'm going to glue those in now. You can see they're a different colour as well to the rest of the airplane. So they go in there covering up with these, they're like vents obviously for making the aircraft pitch left and right and stuff. So that's 2 more done. Right, this is what you've got to do to mask the undercarriage door. The inside edge has got a white rim right around it. No, it's not. It's got the colour of the aircraft right around it, and it's white inside here. All this is white. And then the other side has got a white lip just there, and then you've got the aircraft colour on the outside. So you've got to do that to both doors first. Right, that's painted up. Just take the masking tape off. There we are, that's what you end up with. So you got a white stripe on that side and a grey stripe around the outside. Quite I'll take the masking tape off this one. And we end up with, oops, got the doors out of the way. 2 doors, one with a white stripe at the front and then a grey rim round the insides. So that's basically what these doors are like, all of them. Okay, I just painted this little grilly thing at the bottom, that just fits in there like that. Like so. That needs varnishing as well, but I'll give that a go when it's dry. Just a bit of a touch up on there, but that fits in there. That's that bit done. This is right, the undercarriage doors are now fitted, which are these here. Again, same routine. Paint both sides, mask it off and stuff. Now that's how a model would look without that piece on actually. There's this piece here as well. It's got a little magnetic catch on it, won't fall off that. You have to pick it off with a blade to get it out. That's how it would look with the weapons base closed. You could close the whole thing up and I think it would look really, really boring. So obviously all the work that we put in earlier on and exposes all this little lot. It's a massive weapons bay. So as much as I'm whinging and complaining about all these covers and stuff, I think they're worth it personally. But yeah, I'm getting this little cover off, which I've never put on now because you can't really display wheels down, but it's there anyway. Right, that's an interesting one. I'm building up all the covers obviously. Now if you're doing the parked version, obviously just the aircraft sat on the ground with no pilot in it, you've got the option to put the bomb in there and have this cover open, in theory of course. If you're doing the version I'm doing, that isn't an option. It is, I'm going to do it anyway, but it seems when it hovers it doesn't have this door open. I suppose it's for whatever reasons, but I'm supposed to be fitting this cover version here, so you can't see in there, but you could see it from the side a little bit. But there's going to be a missile here. So I've spent an awful lot of time detailing in there, and I'm not covering it up with this cover because it's just pointless, isn't it? So I'm going to cheat a little bit and not do that version. So this particular version of F-35B is going to be hovering with that door open, so I can show as much detail as possible in there. I was painting these doors. These are the part of the weapons bay doors. Cover the metal rod to simulate the hinge, so that just pops through there like that. You don't have to glue it in because it gets trapped between that and another piece of plastic, so you just drop it in there. I suppose it should be white, I don't know. I thought I'd leave it metal, so it looks quite cool. Okay, this is a fiddly bit to do. These things open up, they're part of the missile launchers, so when this door opens, this bit moves with it. It seems a bit like a transformer as this aeroplane, and they're quite, that's white on the inside and then it's this colour on the outside. I can paint in there now. I fitted that one. They are handed so you can't get them wrong, the little tooth on them, but they're really difficult to fit. Not difficult, they're just, I don't know, yeah right, they are difficult to fit. Basically they fit, I'm trying to show it on camera, they fit in that space there, and they're really awkward to get in place. Right, that one's in now, but you've got to glue that in now. So to get glue in there, the only way I can work out how to do it is use a normal paintbrush with some extra thin on it, and then just drop it into there. It shouldn't need much, but and it is then, once it's gone off, we've got these are the launchers that the actual unmanned missiles fit to, and they're handed as well, and they fit in a slot just there, which then stops those falling out. So yeah, I've decided to put those in now because they are awkward to fit. They're very, very similar colour to the aeroplane itself. There's not much difference, but I can manage to spray those, I think. So just bear that in mind when you're fitting this thing. The whole thing must be like a, when you see it move around, it must be like a transformer, because there's so many covers open up and change direction and stuff. It's an amazing aeroplane. Okay, a bit of progress been made today. I haven't had a chance to film it really, but basically I fitted the weapons in the weapons bay. I wanted to get those in there because I wanted to be able to fit these doors, and getting the stuff in there with the doors on is not easy. You got to have these doors on to fit the missiles and stuff, but yeah, and this, bear in mind, this is the wrong configuration for this aircraft now, because this is the parked configuration. The hovering version doesn't have the bombs in. I don't know why. Probably, I don't know if it's to do with the weight it can carry or whatever, but I really don't know how those missiles would tuck out the way to clear the bombs when they close the doors, but it must do. But it looks awfully tight in those weapons bay. I've never seen such a complicated aeroplane. It really is a complicated design. I'm not surprised it costs a lot of money to make it. But but it is really complex. And I've got to say, as a model, it's heavy. It's got so much plastic in it now. It's got a weight to it. It really has. It's a chunk of plastic. I'm really scared of dropping it at this point now. I've been really careful with it, but so far I haven't messed anything up. Putting the bombs in and the bomb rack supports and the missile racks are quite tricky, quite fiddly things to fit. But they do fit. I mean, it's just patience, isn't it? But masking the doors up, Jesus Christ, that it drives you nuts having to mask every door and every covering. I've got how many more doors have I got? I've got these 2 doors at the back here. They need doing. And then I've got, just being careful putting it on its legs, it's not supposed to go on its legs. I've got a little cover to put on there, which is nothing. And then I've got this top arrangement here. This has already been built. When that's done, all's left to do then is to fit the weapons on these pylons. I think that's it. So let's get cracking with the rest of it. Right, I've finally finished all the covers. I still need varnishing, but I'm going to do that when they're on the model. So it sounds like nothing, doesn't it, these covers, but there's a lot to them, because there's 3 different colours on that part, and then they've got white parts on. Right round the edges they've got white bits. Got a different colour on the back of there. Then you've got the decal on there. Same on this one. This is the one that covers the engine nozzle at the back. And then these are the top ones that go on the top of the fan unit. So they can be fitted now. As I say, I'm going to varnish them once they're on the model. So to fit the bottom one, hope you can see that on video. There's a green decal there. You can see that green decal. That one fits. Just, oops, try and get it in. I'm going to zoom you out a bit. Try and get you in focus. So that one just goes there like that. And then we've got this one. I'll glue it in, of course. And I've got that one on the stand anyway. And that one fits just there. So I'll get those glued on. Probably going to fall off now when I turn it over. No, they didn't. And then we've got these top ones, like so. No, that's the other side. That one goes there. Oops. And then that one goes there. So yeah, I'm going to get those fitted and varnished up, and then the last bit to do, got a couple of little proby things that go on there, little I don't know what they are, sensors, beta tubes, something, I don't know. And then they've got the missiles and the bombs to put on the bottom, and then I'm going to call this one done. Don't take this model on lightly. It's not a quick build. if you're wanting something just to rattle off quickly, don't buy this kit, because it's a very demanding kit. If you buy a lot of masking tape, because it's these doors that take the time. These little doors, they're a pain to paint. Very effective when they're finished, but they don't have to take a lot of time with masking them all. Okay, now the doors are fitted, you can fit this engine. So it's very easy, just push. There we go, that's in there. Don't have to glue it in, it's a very good fit. Very impressed with that as well. It's finished that off beautifully. Absolutely fantastic thing. And then we've got the last part of the airframe. Oh, touching this thing is so delicate. I've got this bit. I'm not going to glue that on actually, because it fits pretty well. Can't touch it anywhere. So that's fitted as well. It won't follow. So that's the airframe completed. What a machine. It really is. So yeah, just last bits to get the bombs and rockets on, and I'll be back when I've got those made up. Right, they're the bombs and the 2 sidewinders made up. Quite a lot of work in those, because you've got to, well, there's various colours, and you've got lots of decals to put on there. Quite a bit of masking, blah blah blah. So they can go on the model now. I'm going to varnish them up once they're in the model actually. Prefer to do that. when you fit these bombs, by the way, the little mounting brackets, little silver ones there, push fitted. Same with the bombs fitted onto the racks. Just get them in there. Let's push them on. No glue involved. They fit really well. Alright, let's click in place. The sidewinders unfortunately do have to be glued on. Well, there we go, that's completed. Been a long build as this one. Let's try and flip it over. It's not an easy, well, all models when they're like this, quite difficult to hold out because I'm scared of breaking things. All the interesting stuff's on the bottom, as you can see. I've got to say, this kit is in a different world. It's definitely the best kit I have ever built. But not best kit I've personally built, if you know what I mean. It's the best kit I've had the pleasure of building, if you like. I just can't fault it, apart from the only thing I don't really like are the decals. The decals, in some ways they're good because they're quite tough, they're easy to move around and they don't break, and they're not like some decals that are like flies' wings that just fall apart just looking at them. The opposite of these, they're very thick and cardboardy, so they don't conform very well, so they're a bit of a challenge. But I've found if you lacquer over them a lot, they blend in quite well. So this model's had lots and lots and lots of lacquer on it. I do that anyway. I tend to find semi-gloss lacquer very good. It's very forgiving and it just blends everything together. So yeah, other than the decals, I'm going to give this kit, I can't fault it. It's 10 out of 10. It's just amazing. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Well, a lot of the parts that you put on the model are they're just push fitted. I mean, this door here, these doors, they're push fitted on. The front undercarriage doors push fitted on. All the bombs that are fitted on that are push fitted. The engine nozzle just push fitted. The top cover on the top's push fitted on. There's lots of it like that. You don't have to bother gluing anything on. It's just, it fits so well. It's not designed to be push fitted. It just happens to work that way for me. They could have made this kit in 1/32 scale and not changed anything at all, and it would still be absolutely amazing. No, they're not going to do that either, but you can't just upscale a mould, can you? But I haven't weathered it because I was kind of learning how to build a model. It's quite a daunting task when you build this thing. There's lots to it, and I haven't done anything out of the ordinary with it at all. I mean, all I've done is assemble it and paint it. That's it. I've not done anything fancy to it. I've not added any weathering products to it. The only bit of aftermarket I've done is these iridescent covers on this unit at the front here. They're not vital. I just did it just to see what they're like. Other than that, the thing straight out of the box, there's nothing special on it whatsoever. To weather it, I'd have had to, I don't know, you could weather it, but it added a lot of time. And I think as an aeroplane, when you see them on the flying about, there are weathered ones, and I'm not going to deny that there are weathered ones out there, especially the ones on their carriers. But the new ones aren't. They look pretty pristine, really. The airshow circuit stuff's all immaculate. So I've kind of represented that. I've built one that's straight out of the factory, I suppose. But it would look good with it, but I'm not sure I've got the skill base to do that, really, to get this one looking as it should. So I've just avoided doing it because I just don't feel confident with this one. So I think it looks alright without weathering. I mean, I've seen this coating that's on the model on the aircraft, the real ones, it seems to go rusty for some reason. It's got something in the paint or whatever it is. And it goes like brown and all manky looking. But I haven't done that. Anyway, so as a review, just if you like F-35s, and this is the thing I don't understand it, except I was a bit reserved about the model itself because the F-35 as an aeroplane has had lots of bad press. You know, it's too expensive, it breaks down, so yada yada, it can't do what it's supposed to do, blah blah blah. When you build a model, you tend to research a little bit, don't you? Look at the aeroplane in itself, and as a design concept and what it can do if it works is amazing. It isn't supposed to be a dogfighting sort of aeroplane that's going to go and mix it up with the tight turning Russian stuff. That's not what it was built to do. It was built to kind of stand off and see things from a distance and just shoot it down before you get anywhere near it, and also give out information to other aeroplanes and stuff like that. It's research aeroplane. There's a lot to it, and I can see why it costs a lot of money. You can see why it costs a lot of money because the way this thing's built. I mean, it's like everything about it is so complex. I don't know if it's necessary for it to be like that, but I mean, look at it. I mean, it's just like, it's in a different world. I mean, it's like a spaceship. I'd love to see one in reality, just open and close all these doors. They're remarkable. It really is. Anyway, I digress too much. I'm waffling on. If you're going to build one, yeah, don't just take it on. As I've said earlier, don't even consider it's a quick build, because it's not. It's taken me a long time, and I'm retired now. I can only kind of build 2 hours at a time, and I have to have a break and wander off and do something else, and then come back to it. But I don't know how long it's taken me to do this, but it's felt like a very big project. And I found some of it quite frustrating. I found that doing all the doors really, because normally when you do an undercarriage door or any cover, you just paint it the colour of the aircraft on the outside and the colour of the door on the inside, and that's it, done. But you can't with these. All of these are masked. Every single door, you've got to mask all the edges and all the rims to them, and it takes ages. So I think Tamiya's got, they thought, I don't know what we can do. We'll make this kit where you can go buy loads of masking tape. Because boy, do you go through a lot of masking tape, masking this thing off. But it's worth it. In the end, it's a nice looking model, and it's a very substantial thing. I have to pick it up about there somewhere. I've started to wear the paint off on the edges because I've been picking it up there so much. You can't tell because the plastic's practically the same colour as the actual model, as the aircraft. So anyway, so there we are, done. Buy it, they're great. If you like F-35s, a lot of people don't. So I think that has certainly had an impact on the views of this particular video playlist, because I think people see F-35 and just walk on by because they don't like them. I've been in model shops and I've talked to people about F-35s when I've been building this. Oh yeah, I don't like them. They just don't like the airplane. Simple as that. So it's discriminated against as a kit because of what it is, which is fair enough, I suppose. So there we go. I'll throw some pictures up. Please like and subscribe. Usual thing. If you like something, put a thumbs up and please put a comment in. It helps in analytics. And if you don't like something, please say why you don't like something. And what I'm going to build next, I have no idea. This one's burnt me out a little bit, to be fair. I've got to say I need a bit of a break, and I need to decide what to build next, and I don't know what that is yet. So put some comments in. What would you like to see built? What would you like me to do? I'm open to offers within reason. I'm not doing a ship. I'm never going to do ships. I might do some armour though. I'm considering doing a tank at some point. But aircraft and tanks maybe, but I ain't going to do ships. They're too big anyway. So there we go, one F-35 by Tamiya. Absolutely fantastic model, love it. So pictures to follow. Catch you in a bit.